Hey there, I'm Chase. This is TCG Bulk Kings, where every card has value. And you guys have been liking the content about my scanner, and so I wanted to go through the workflow that I've figured out so far for using Quicklist with the scanner to scan in TCG product onto TCG Player. So I'm going to get right into it. I've got this stack here of approximately 400 Mirrodin cards, commons, uncommons, a few rares in there too. So I'm just going to work through how I go ahead and get that stuff listed. So these were all set sorted. They're all Mirrodin cards. They've been conditioned, so they're all near mint. You know, I may have missed a couple, so I may pull a couple out. So the first step, I'm going to get these sorted so that all the letters are in the same pile, the initial letters. And I do that in a couple of steps. I start with doing 3 piles for the beginning, middle, and end of the alphabet, because I don't want to get out, just for 400 cards, I don't want to get out the whole big sorting tray and do that. So I just make a pile for the front, a pile for the middle, and one for the back of the alphabet. And thankfully these cards have come out of the collection already kind of grouped together too, so it's gonna go pretty quickly. Doesn't always, but even when they're all jumbled up, it goes pretty quickly still. Alright, so that's the 3 separate sections. Take the first section and I'll break it down into the individual letters. So this is A through I, so I'll have 9 piles here. Okay, so I've got these separated out into the individual letters. So now I'll take each stack and alphabetize it within the stack. It's not a huge number of cards, so I can just do that in my hand real quick. We got Ether, Spellbomb, Alphamere, and Atog, some classics there. We will just take them and drop them into the machine. Open up our quick list, which I'll show you on the screen here in a minute, but I want you to see them run through here. And we'll just click start scanning. After it takes a second to catch the card, there they go. And it's detected all those cards and identified them correctly. So I'll take them out of that and I'll stack them up right over here, and so that they stay in order, and I'll move on to letter B. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like on the screen as well for the Quicklist software. I'm going to pop that on the screen here. I've recorded this twice already, and this is about as legible as I can make it, and at least I've got audio working this time, and we can kind of see what's going on in the window here. I mean, you can see the 3 cards I've just run through: Ether, Spellbomb, Alphamere, and Atog. So it's detected those. You can change the game here to all these other games. You pick the right set. You make sure you're in the right language. You make sure you've got the right printing on here. I would definitely recommend that you separate out the foils and run them separately. Otherwise, you'll be picking and choosing every time you have to switch through whether it's foil or non-foil, and it just seems like it has a little bit harder time detecting foils. So you can also set condition over here. I'm just going to leave it in near mint because I only put near mint stuff onto the website. So I'm going to go ahead and sort these B's and get those running. Alright, so here's the B's, and I'll let you see what it looks like as I run them through there. You can see it's the scanner's taking a picture and sending it into the Quicklist software. It's popping up here and it's checking to see what it is and identifying it. You can see, okay, it's had a little bit of an issue here. These blood scents, I picked up a blood scent, and so what you do is you have to check every time you run them through. So we had 3 Banshee's Blades, we got 4 Battle Growth, 3 Blink Moth Well, we had 3 blood scents, so we can delete this one that it picked up randomly as Spanish and adjust the quantity on that one. some reason it didn't like this bone splitter, and it picked up them back. And then how many bone splitters did we have? We have 4. Let's change that to 4. We had 1 bottle gnomes and 4 brown oofy, so that's it. You just have to check them every time you go through, just to be double sure that it's done everything right. Alright, so we got the C's ready to go. Simple as that. Okay, so that's all the C's. Let's double check its work. 4 Cathodion, 4 Clockwork Beetle, 4 Clockwork Condor, 1 Clockwork Dragon, 2 Clockwork Vorak, 4 Cloud Post, 4 Cobalt Golem, 4 Copper Mirror, 4 Creeping Mold, 3 Crystal Shard, and 2 Culling Scales. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. So you can see how that definitely helps with the process here of getting these listed. It's not like a gigantic, huge time savings over doing it on the pricing tab, because all this work where I'm, you know, alphabetizing and all that would have to be done anyway to keep it organized for the inventory. But what it does help with is that it does go a little bit faster than using the pricing tab, and it takes a lot less brain work while I'm doing it. So if I was doing this on the pricing tab, I'd be counting them out, typing them in, picking the price, and then moving on to the next card. And I might click into the wrong box, or I might accidentally mix up the price box and the quantity box. I might list 100 cards at $1 instead of 1 card at $100. This prevents all of that, so I don't have to think about it. I run it through and I just double check to make sure it works. So we've got 4 Dead Iron Sledge, 4 Deconstruct. This one mistake there, it just picked up a card back. 2 Detonate, 3 Dragon Blood, 4 Draw Scorpion, and 3 Duskworker. And that's it. It's really not that much more to it. I'll show you what it looks like once I get to the end here. Alright, so that's got the entire stack scanned. It comes up to, let me pull up the quick list for you guys, 416 cards, so my estimate was pretty close. It was $82.37 of value I'm adding into the store right now. So, and that's the market price. It will adjust up and down with my auto pricer tool, the mass price tool that TCGplayer also allows the pro sellers to use. So let me know if you have any questions or comments or anything like that. But that's basically a general work through of my workflow. Sort it out, alphabetize it, drop it through the scanner. Oh, let's add it into the inventory actually. So here is the list, and once you get it all done and there's no errors or anything, you go down here to the bottom right. It tells you how many cards there was, how many dollars it is. You click Submit List, and it'll pop up and say that your list has successfully been submitted. And so you clear the list, and then you'll come over here to, it'll pop up with this tab in your web browser right on the TCGplayer website in the Lists tab, Manage Lists tab if you have that. It'll be all the cards you scanned and everything, and you can click here Add Inventory, and then it will explain, hey, we're going to add these to your inventory, but only ones that you have already in there are we going to immediately update. Everything else will go to your staged inventory. So just click Continue, and it does that. Boom. And then it takes you straight to your inventory, or your pricing page, or pricing tab, and it drops you into the staged inventory. So you'll have to pick the game that you've scanned into. You can see it added 21 products to my live inventory because I already had a few Mirrodin cards in my inventory. The remaining 395 are in staged, but it doesn't just bring them up. So you have to pick the game that you're scanning. So this is Magic, and search, and it'll pull up everything that you've been scanned in. And if you just come over here to click Move to Live, it'll pop up with this little window and say, do you want to move prices from this page, which is just the first 10 on the list, or the entire search results, 126 products. It's 126 because it's multiple copies of all those 126, right? So I'm going to click my search results and continue, and it's going to throw those into live. It says 134 updates there. So now those are all in the regular inventory. And that's it. The mass price tool will reprice them correctly. Right now they're sitting at market price. And I don't have to think about it. That way I don't have to think about it, and it's ready to go, and I just basically just drop them in the machine, click a couple buttons, and it's done. So very easy to use once you get it working properly. Like I said, if you have any questions about that process, any tips for me, because I'm not by any means an expert in this. I'm picking it up as I'm going along. Feel free to comment about them. If you want to see the video about how frustrating it was to get this machine working properly, though I am really happy with it. It's only cost me about $60 or so all in to get it working, instead of paying several $100s for a brand new machine. If you want to check out that video, check it out right up here or down here for something else that's probably interesting for you.